Anyways, okay, let's get on to this. What's up, y'all? Show most death most Christmas. Back in another video. Stay the youngin. The schoolish. Why did it sound like that? The schoolish book fair be like. I think he was probably trying to pronounce school, but he got the schoolish. But hey, you know, it is what it is. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow out social media. It's gonna pop on the screen. We're on the road to 700. Well, 7. This is 7. Yeah, that's 7, right? Yeah, I did it right. But yeah, we're on the road to 700. Hope y'all have an amazing, wonderful night. Uh, it it been alright though. Lately, it's been alright. Just a lot of side. I ain't able to say side quests. Just stuff that I tried to, put more videos out there, but it was just to short it up. It was just not my company. No, my company probably would never do some stuff like this to me. My siblings company. So yeah, just to make the side note, I'm not going all deep to that. Just know I watch. I was trying to do videos for the day. I only had to do one before they came here and made hella noise and stuff like that. But it's what it is though. It's life. A lot of things gonna get in your way. You just gotta keep going, keep pushing, and that's what it is. It was just an obstacle to have, but we here though, and nothing else gonna stop me from posting more and more videos for y'all. But yeah, let's get on to this video though. Hope y'all, like I said, I hope y'all having a nice, wonderful night, day, even or whatever time y'all watching this. But yeah.
One thing I'll never forget about the book fair is every year there was always that one kid who the only possible explanation is their dad just gave them the platinum Amex for the day and said go crazy. No limits. Sitting there with every single Captain Underpants ever created, the Guinness Book of World Records, 17 different erasers. He's doing a...
I ain't lying to you though. The kid that really be having all this saying, I'm not gonna lie, you be the most luckiest kid, bro. Cause I'll tell you 2 times of a story, and it's like quick short story. What books I could tell you what books that I bought from the books fair. Now, listen, before I show these, I don't know if some of y'all can relate, cause some of y'all didn't go to the same school that I go to. Some of y'all did, but hey, the first book that I got elementary was this Jedi Academy Star Wars. This was actually a good book. Shout out to the dude Jeffrey Brown, good artist. Now, what did I didn't know when I was looking before this video, there's plenty more series of this, and I didn't know. It said volume 1, and I didn't know they had like a lot of volumes. So yeah, that's crazy. They just forgot my dog right here, man, and it said, hey, you know what? We're just gonna slap a girl on it, and she just took over the whole thing. I could have got this one too, but I didn't have the money at the time, and you know I asked my parents. But yeah, I had got this, and I read this book so many times, and it was this thing called reading and writing. You read whatever you get off the book. I used to always go. This was a go to book. The Jedi was always up. That was always a go to book. Next book that I had along with that book, I hope y'all like know this. Bones. I had which one I had? I had this one. It's the one I had. And I was trying to collect these though, low key. Because the first one I read was this one. Then I own this one. I don't know what happened to it. I think my little brother probably ripped it or did something to it. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like I'll guarantee read all of these when I was young. Now might go back someday in the future and buy all of these books. I'm not gonna hold you. And just who knows, man. Have them on a collection, bro. Read them off stream or something like that. Off cameras. But yeah, that I got for elementary. Now, when I went to like third or fourth grade, Captain Underpants and Fly Guy. If y'all know about Fly Guy, that was the two books I had got too. This was like third or fourth grade and stuff like that. Oh, look at this. We watched a whole video about that. That was like last year on some stuff. But yeah, these was low key the books that I read when I was young, and then when I got to middle school, I don't know. I just started reading books. I don't know, son. Our library teaching was just, I don't know. They just had some boring books there. It always was some boring books. I'm not gonna hold you. When you get to high school and middle school, they be having some boring books. Yeah, some boring books. And I be wondering to myself, like, what the fun of this? Like that's what I just be wondering. What's the fun to these books? Damn, feet. What's the fun to these books? But yeah, it be like that though, you know. Once you get older, you just don't read the books like that no more. I mean, some people do. It just depends though. But yeah though.
Money spread with Goosebumps and Magic Tree
I never liked it. I never read a Goosebumps one.
House. And just when you think he's got it all, you see him again.
Nah, I remember. I ain't gonna hold you. I remember one of my white homeboys back in the day when we was in fourth grade. I think I forgot his name, but he used to collect them like Goosebumps books and used to read them like crazy, bro. Like every time they drop something, bro, he was always already on it already. Then he'll talk about I already done reading the book for the weekend. I'm like, nah, that's crazy. Oh wait, Diary Rippy Kid too, but I never
Goosebumps and Magic Tree House. And just when you think he's got it all, you see him again the next day walking around with every single Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Like he was Thanos collecting Infinity Stones or something. Yeah, the book fair was not fair. But back in the day when the teacher handed out those book fair catalogs, that was the most hype moment of the entire school year right there.
Facts.
I remember they'd have us circle everything we wanted. I'd circle like $800 worth of stuff. So in other words, like 2 whole books.
I ain't lying to you. I used to circle some stuff and I know damn well I was not about to get some of all of this. I'm not gonna hold you. Then I used to go home, bring that to my parents, and my parents just used to look at me like I was crazy. Real talk.
See, that's when I knew I had to start preparing a sales pitch to convince my parents to buy me something, walking down the hallway like I was on Shark Tank, getting ready to rationalize $20 for a single book and 1 poster. My dad would take one look at the catalog, he'd see the prices, and he'd be like,
"Don't buy it, I'm out."
He'd seen enough. My mom would check the books. She'd be like, "Yeah, look, this one, and this one. There's a free book fair every day downtown. It's called the public library." I heard public library. I was like, I'd manage to get a 10 and maybe a 5 out of them. But then you had the anticipation because they'd give you the catalog like 2 weeks before the actual book fair happened. But then once the first day of the book fair actually arrived, there was nothing like getting dropped off to school in the morning. They always had the book fair in the winter. I remember walking through the cold weather to get to...
Facts. It was always in the winter. Never in the hot summer day. It was always in the cold. Then you always had them dudes that used to go there extra early just to go pick out. I'm like, dang, you too fiending just to get your little book, huh? Like, ain't no way.
The library. Then you finally walk through the library doors. It's warm on the inside, the smell of the books. They had all those metal shelves with the displays set up, and nothing has hit the same since. Top 5 childhood events of all time, easily.
Thanks.
But, now that I think back on it, a lot of the books that I did end up buying, I'm not sure if they even counted as real books. Like, for example, one year, the book I chose to buy was one of those video game cheat code manuals. I mean, what reading level did they have that one rated at? My dad probably saw what I chose to buy with his money after claiming that I would buy reading material for the purposes of mental enrichment. He was probably like,
He's an idiot. He's a con artist.
But talk about a throwback. I remember that book had this one cheat code in it for Wii Sports, and it was to change the color of the tennis court from green to blue. Because in Wii Tennis, it always had the classic green tennis court. But if you held down the secret button combination during the loading screen, then boom, the game would load in with a blue court instead of the default green one. Hey, I found out how to do that. I thought I was some sort of covert ops specialist. I was ready to get recruited by the CIA. But fast forward to current day, and I don't think they even have cheat codes in video games anymore. Did they get rid of those? Hey, this new generation does not know about cheat codes in video games. I mean,
especially in GTA, bro. I ain't lying to you. Them cheat codes used to go dumb in GTA, especially GTA 5. Ooh.
Come on, let me put in a RT, RB, LT, A, left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up real quick.
Or that up, down, side, RB, LT, press B twice, spin your controller, and press Y, and you'll get a visible thing on GTA.
But anyways, I found out how to do that with the tennis. Right, up, left, down, right, up real quick. But anyways, I found out how to do that with the tennis court and never looked back. From that day forward, whenever I'd play someone in Wii Tennis, I'd secretly put in the cheat code all nonchalant while the game was loading. And then boom, it would load in with this blue court that nobody had ever seen before. And people would be like, what? What type of black magic is this? I'd be like, yup, cheat code book, bro. This is some forbidden knowledge right here. The Freemasons don't even know about this yet. A different year, I bought this one book, again, loose definition of book. It was this Pokemon one, and it just listed a ton of Pokemon, pictures only. I think the only words that entire book contained were the names of the Pokemon and the title of the book. And for what it counts,
I'm not gonna hold you, saying back in third all the way to fifth, saying they used to have dudes bring their Pokemon cards in school. And like, I think there was this one kid that he used to have the books, and then we used to play like Pokemon battles with the cards. Like, we were actually doing like Pokemon, and I always had the trash cards. One of my white homeboys always gave me the trash cards, knowing I was gonna lose my battle. Like, cause back then I didn't even have Pokemon cards. The only thing I was like into when I was little, in like 3rd or 4th grade, I was into toys, games, and sometimes when I was not when it was not intentional, sometimes I used to use my dad to record, my dad's phone to used to record videos with the stuffed animals or make music off the phone. But I used to always delete it though, cause I don't know, I never wanted my parents to catch me.
There might have been some numbers in there too, where it listed off some stats. Hey, amazing book fair book though. And when I purchased it at the counter, the change I got back was $2 and some cents. But for the bill, the cashier gave me an actual $2 bill. And I remember being very confused because this was actually the first time ever in life I had seen a $2 bill. And I wasn't sure if it was real or not. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if the librarian was trying to pull a fast one on me. I was looking at her like, I will report you to the SEC right now. Yeah, that's right. You ever heard of a whistleblower? Don't ever try to give me Monopoly money ever again. Another pillar of the book fair. I know you all remember those Guinness.
I was always scanning through and looking at these stuff. Like, I'm not going to hold you. I never liked the world record books because I thought, to me, I thought that was just fake. I thought they just paid people just to put a picture of what they challenge did and wrote or something like the news would tell you. Some like fake stuff on a newspaper or something like that. That's what I thought the world record was. Like, on some real stuff.
Never thought it was real. They would have half the class crowded around their desk trying to see what type of crazy stuff was in there this year. And that's something I've always wondered about those is, bro, what type of record breaking were they trying to accomplish in those? You'd open one of those up to a random page and it'd be like some Brazilian guy, world record.
No, okay. The only person I want to tell this story so bad, but at the same time, I want to wait till my twin brother do. Like, we got to do this live one day. We gotta tell that story. It's 3rd grade, bro. Miss Tanner class, bro. And bro, y'all was in Miss Tanner class, saying, and it was not the world record. It was a book, right? And all I would say is a dude was eating a hot dog, right? And that's all I'm gonna say. Dude was eating, like, you know how them dudes be eating the hot dog food challenge, bro? Just know it was something. It was something like my brother said that had me laughing. Just know that. We gonna explain about it though.
Most roaches on a human face at once, with a devious smile too. You'd be like, all right, I've had enough of this. Flip the page. And then it'd be like, largest quantity of Tabasco sauce consumed in under 10 seconds. Or one that has always stuck in my head to this day. I remember one year they had someone with the world record for the longest fingernails. Bro, that image is still ingrained into my mind 15 years later. Those fingernails were so long, they'd be 8 feet long, lying across the ground, and then they get all curly and yellow on the ends. That thing was nasty. Grotesque. Gave me the heebie-jeebies, no lie. That and those Ripley's Believe It or Not books were too out of pocket. You gotta be an unhinged individual to put that book together and then sell it to 8-year-olds. And then after I bought my book, I'd always have that couple dollars and some change left over to just ball out on all the random non-book related stuff they sold, all the doohickeys and thingamajigs, various gifts.
Just to know that stuff was going to end up going on the trash or going to be on the floor, or one of your little cousins are going to end up stealing it. That's what, like, I never bought those. I always asked a friend, can I use your little pointer? Never knew why we had a pointer. I remember one dude bought like all these pointers and gave it out to a teacher for Teacher Appreciation Week. Now, I mean, he's kind of pretty smart, but at the same time, come on now. Why do she need that if she already got one?
Gizmos and whatchamacallits. Those might have been a bigger part of the book fair than the actual books, to be honest. Some years, that's all I got. I didn't even get a book.
For them highlighters, the 5-head highlighters, hey, they come in clutch. I'm not gonna hold you, especially when you need them. The highlight stuff, hey, they come in clutch.
Because the book fair stayed stocked up on a random assortment of knickknacks. That was for certain. Pencils, pens, finger pointers, bookmarks. Those random items were like crack for kids. I used to love that stuff. Only to use them for a week and then forget about them forever.
Facts.
But I'd throw out 50 cents on one of those really long bendy erasers. The erasers where they made it look like a pencil, but it was really long and you could tie them into a knot. I'd get one of those. I'd throw out 30 cents on a Lamborghini bookmark, one of the holographic ones. And then for some reason, I think every single year, without exception, I bought one of those giant pencils. Why? I don't even know why I did, but I always bought one. I'd be in there taking my spelling tests like these. And don't even get me started on the erasers. You definitely got to pick up one of those. They'd have them for like 40 cents each. It'd be like some food item, various fruits, Or they had the dollar bill. Those dollar bill ones were goated. They had the iPhone eraser that were modeled to look like the iPhone.
Hey, bro, I know one thing I ain't never had in y'all little book said, bro, y'all ain't never had the what type of eraser that was, bro? What's it called, bro? Y'all ain't had them what's that eraser called, bro? It's an eraser, but it could never turn white though. I mean, not turn. It'll never get dirty though. Y'all ain't never had one of those type of erasers. Like every time you erase, it'll never get dirty or something like that. And then they used to have them squeeze eye pen when you can squeeze them, their eyes poke out and all that.
3 or something. Any of you guys remember the scented versions? I'd walk up to the eraser section, find the scented ones, and just start taking whiffs. Librarian had probably never seen.
I ain't lying to you, son. I know like a couple people really stole some erasers and stuff them in their pocket and walk off.
An 8-year-old fiend before. But the thing with all of those erasers is half the time, or actually most of the time, they wouldn't actually even erase anything. They just kind of smudge the graphite around, and that's if they didn't just straight up rip through your paper in the first place. Yeah, those erasers would just absolutely destroy your paper. But that didn't matter. What's important is that I was rocking a burger on the top of my pencil. Another one of those random knick-knack items they always sold was those invisible ink pens, the ones with the UV light. I thought I was James Bond back in the day using one of those. I'd be passing notes with the homework answers back and forth with the homies. We didn't care if the teacher caught us. That was nothing but a blank piece of paper to her. And then at the very end of the week, I might be down to my last dime. And I'd be in there scanning the shelves for something, anything priced at 10 cents, no matter what it was, for no other reason than just to use up the last of my money. So I'd end up getting something random, something like one of those bands that curled up when you slapped it against your wrist.
I ain't lying to you, son. Them girls used to be childish with that stuff, saying. I ain't lying to you. I remember I used to sleep. I used to sleep like this. I'm about to show y'all how I used to sleep, but I had to stop sleeping like that ever since that my cousin or whatever, like a couple females. I used to sleep like this, right? Not like a dab, but like I used to sleep like this, hand out like this. So boom, I remember it was at recess, and she had came. It was I'ma just say it just a random female, but hand out like this, man. Boy, you would thought like somebody shocked me. Boy, she slapped that little thing. Yeah, boy, I started screaming. I was like, boy, I thought somebody shocked me. Boy, I thought I was a goner.
Slap bracelets, which were basically the book fair equivalent of brain rot. I remember one year there was an epidemic of everybody slapping those things maximum force around anybody in sight. You know, you try to catch somebody while they were filling in a worksheet or something, do a drive-by slap bracelet. Kind of had a little bit of a sting to it. Matter of fact, one morning, I had got to school and just walked in. I was coming around the corner, you know, just ready to start my day, and somebody got me around the neck, caught me lacking. There were a couple book fairs that they sold noise putty. I mean, that's what it said on the label, but what it actually was basically just fart putty. And I say it was only sold at a couple because a certain incident happened that we'll get into, and the school had to ban the fart putty. But it was just this sort of slimy type of putty, and you just stick your fingers in it, and it made wet fart sound effects. Sounded like cartoon farts. So peak humor at the age of 9 years old. And I'm not gonna lie, whoever's idea it was, whichever big boss over at Scholastic made the decision to include fart putty in the product lineup, that person set up entire school districts far and wide for failure, causing teachers distress each and every year that stuff was.
Nah, I ain't lying to you, say. I remember saying it was about 4 dudes that had that in each class that I had. Saying I remember it was first hour, bro, and like dude said he was like acting like he like, man, teacher, I got to use it. She was not letting that man use it. Yeah, like he like this. I got She turned around and look, she was like, "Did you go to the bathroom and see, bro?" Like it was like happening like every class, bro. Another class, dude, like second period, bro. We went to second period. I remember, bro. Dude was like playing with it, bro, and like he used to call out people's name. He'd be like, "Man, come on, Trayvon, why you fighting like that, man? Right by next to me." Mind you, Trayvon ain't even say nothing to that man. He said he doing it and all that stuff, bro. And just know, third hour and fourth hour, they did basically the same thing too.
I mean, I gotta wonder how many teachers in total have ever crashed out over this stuff.
Oh my god, dude.
Because at my school alone, it was at least a few. I mean, if a teacher noticed you, even just carrying around one of the fart putty tubs, they would clock you immediately, taking mental notes of everybody who purchased one. You would end up on their enemy list just for possession, before you even did anything wrong. They hated that fart putty. But I'm not gonna lie, it was absolutely for good reason. Because kids would be pulling them out at the most opportunistic times. You know, someone would rip a fart.
Hey, son, hey, they really did have somebody that did this before, son. I ain't lying to you, son. The dude, and I like, you know, he was wrong this day. He was an announcement, and he was saying the pledge, right? And dude had like, you know, because I had went to the office. I remember it. It was like yesterday, bro. Walk by the office and I see him. He see me. He see him. Bro, dude pulled it out and just like pause. The little fart putty thing. He said the last word and he hit the. I'm like, bro. All I could do is just walk away, start like holding my laughing like this, bro. Like the guidance counselor started looking at me like I had freaking had something involved with that, bro.
Putty fart in the middle of the Pledge of Allegiance. Someone would interrupt the morning announcements. Someone would just unleash one 5 minutes into the math test. The room is dead silent, everybody's focused, and all of a sudden just... And then someone on the other side of the room has got to one-up the last guy, make his fart putty fart have even more reverb, be more obnoxious than the first one, and so it would be battles going back and forth. And what's crazy, I remember one year, the fart putty actually sold out. They ran fresh out of stock. I tried to go buy some, and they said they ran out. But let me tell you, the whole teaching staff was ecstatic, acting like the war was finally over. The enemy ran out of ammunition. Silent reading was finally no longer under threat. I remember one teacher hearing about the news, and she spent the first 5 minutes of class that day just going on a rant about how happy she was that nobody else would be able to purchase any more fart putty. You know, just taking her victory lap. I mean, she was talking like the contraband was finally off the streets or something. And it was true, the book, I guess there was so much demand, somebody in charge somewhere ordered more boxes, and they restocked the fart putty. That's crazy. You had people waiting in line for a fart putty restock like it was a Supreme drop. One year it got so bad because we had a situation where our longtime Spanish teacher at the school, Mrs. Garcia, she had to suddenly leave her teaching position halfway through the year. Some personal situation had come up for her or something, and she had to leave. And she had been at that school for years and years. So when she left, they had to scramble to find her replacement. It was kind of a disaster. I remember we went a few weeks with no proper Spanish class. Then they tried to have some of the normal teachers fill in, random substitutes. It was a whole thing. But eventually they were able to find somebody, middle of the school year, who took the job. And this new Spanish teacher, her first week was the same week as the book fair. Bro, she started on a Monday, she quit by Friday. I'm telling you, we had like 2 classes with her, and then she quit. And it was due to the classes being too unruly, but one of the specific examples she cited was because of excessive fart putty usage in the classroom. Just instant defeat. And they could not convince her to stay. So she came in, went over colors and days of the week, and then left. She quit her new job in less than a week because of fart putty. And you
That's
see,
crazy.
this would have never happened with Mrs. Garcia because let me tell you, Mrs. Garcia, she ran a tight ship, feared but respected. Nobody would dare act out during her class. But then her replacement came along, and the new teacher just couldn't replicate the aura of Mrs. Garcia. And so everything just descended into anarchy. She'd be trying to teach us about conjugation, and it's just nothing but fart putty going off in the background. And I could only imagine.
Nah, I ain't lying to you, son. I know they were probably like, she was probably like, bruh, how many times they gonna keep clicking it?
If somebody tried to pull that during one of Mrs. Garcia's classes, it would not have gone well for them. It would have actually gone the opposite way. Let you try to rip a fart putty fart behind Senora Garcia's back, and it wouldn't have been the end for the teacher, it would have been the end of you. And after that whole incident, that was it for fart putty at the book fair. They banned it from there out for the rest of that year and all future years. I never saw it again. The moment it took out the replacement Spanish teacher, started affecting the faculty depth chart, that was a bridge too far. Probably got the next restock and threw it over the side of the truck like it was the Boston Tea Party or something.
Oh, wow.
So they handled that fart putty issue. But another problem, which the book fair always had, was every single year, people would try and steal from it. And I don't know if they had cameras in there or what, because also every year, they would catch people doing this. This happened every single time. We'd be in class, the librarian would pop her head in all of a sudden, and she'd be like, excuse me, sorry for the interruption, Mrs. Jones, but I need to speak with Reggie, and I need to speak with him outside, privately. And Reggie, bring your backpack with you. I wonder if the kids that the school knew were stealing from the book fair, I wonder what their system was.
I ain't lying to you. I feel like some people didn't care if they got, caught. Or they were just stealing just to see if they were going to, get away. Some people get away with that stealing stuff, though. I mean, it be like that, though.
Did they just have their mug shots on a corkboard in the faculty lounge or what? Just cut out their yearbook photo and pin it up there? But then one year, instead of somebody stealing from the book fair, somebody stole another kid's book fair money. And this was a whole thing when it happened. I remember this happened during lunch when nobody was looking. Possibly they started cracking down too much on the book fair itself. It had too much surveillance, so people came up with a new method. They said, forget stealing the book. I'll just steal the money that's used to buy the book and get the book that way. And so apparently one kid had set their money down while eating lunch.
And that's one thing right there. You don't set your money. Why would you set your money down on the counter? So bro, that's how somebody would easily just pass by. Swoop. So, yeah.
Looked away for a couple seconds, and when he looked back, his money was gone. But I guess he never actually saw who it was that took the money, and so he told the school that somebody somewhere somehow stole it from him. And let me tell you, the school found out about this, and they did not play around with that situation. They responded with absolute maximum force. They got the principal, the vice principal, they had the janitor there. I don't really know why he was in the mix. Just assembled anybody who happened to be in the hallway on the way over, I guess. And they just started conducting impromptu sweeps, going from classroom to classroom. They came through like a caravan. Every class that was present at that lunch period got raided, just searching high and low for information. They ambushed my class late in the afternoon when nobody was expecting it. We were in computer class when it happened. But the way they did it was sneaky because during computer class, we always left our backpacks outside the computer room just because it was too cramped in there for everyone to bring all their stuff in. So they specifically waited until we had all dropped our backpacks off outside. See, they were smart. They made sure everybody was separated from their belongings so nobody could pull no last minute tricks. And then our principal, she was this very, very stern old woman. She was actually a nun, but I'm telling you, she had the affect of like a mafia boss. She ruled that school with an iron fist. And so she busted through the door. She goes, "Excuse me, students. A student who will remain anonymous has brought it to our attention that their book fair money was stolen today during lunch. I'll give the thief one chance right now to be honest and come forward." And I never understood this tactic. Basically, will the criminal please imprison themselves of their own goodwill? And of course, nobody says anything. And she's like, "All right, that's it. Nobody leaves this room until we've searched through everybody's stuff. We're searching every backpack, every folder, every secret zipper pocket. Matter of fact, we're checking your lunch boxes too." And then her squad stepped outside and just started going through everybody's belongings, tearing through them. Kind of intrusive now that I think back on it.
That's crazy.
But they go outside and just start tearing through it.
Nah, imagine like you had like leftover food that you didn't know, and she opened it, and it's like bad odor food in her face. Nah, I'm saying, hey,
everybody's stuff. And they were out there for a good 15 minutes or so. And I knew they came up empty-handed when they didn't even come back inside to give us an update. We just saw them walk away through the window. No follow-up. And hey, whoever the thief was, they got away. They never found the money. Not in our class, not in another one. I mean, I wish I could say that they found them and made them do like a public apology or something. But not gonna lie, somebody probably went home that day with an entire box set of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. The full collection. Hey, you gotta catch up to the kid with the Amex somehow. How else you gonna compete? But let me know some of your guys' book.
Hey, all I know, bro, these like a lot of canon events that happen in everybody lifestyle, and it be like that. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Love y'all. We is on the road to 700, and I'm out.